Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm going to do the new arrival video for October 30th, 2020. So a couple of pre-orders this week on the website. There is a new Smashing Pumpkins album coming out. We've got the indie exclusive, which is on purple vinyl. That's CYR. Also, Childish Gambino, Because the Internet. Man, that record's been going, that was in print for years and years and years. They did a big fat deluxe version of it. That thing's going for like $100 now. But they're doing like a more simplified 2LP version without all the deluxe packaging. That is available for pre-order coming out later this year. So there was a lot of stuff that has not made it here to show you, but it should be on the website either Thursday or Friday. My shipment is like sitting in Kansas right now, or Texas maybe at this point in time. I've been tracking it. It's a couple of days late. Most of that this week's order is on that shipment, but I'll show you what I do have, which are some, a lot of good stuff still, but there's also a couple of Rocktober titles that will be in later in the week. So if you check tomorrow, you'll find a lot of the Rocktober titles. So the Flaming Lips, Transmissions from the Satellite Heart, that's a Rocktober exclusive. We'll have that in a day or so. There's two Rocktober Devo titles that I wanted to show you guys. Let's see, Devo titles, Are We Not Men and Duty Now for the Future. And the big chunk of Rocktober titles that was supposed to be this week, there's a pile of Kraftwerk that they're doing indie exclusive Rocktober titles. Autobahn, Computer World, Radioactivity, Technopop, Man Machine, Trans Europe Express, The Mixed, and Tour de Force. Technopop, one of my favorite Kraftwerk albums. Real hard to get on vinyl. Next to impossible to find. But yeah, those should be here maybe Friday, assuming that everything goes correct. Maybe Thursday, later on today. But I'm not 100% sure. FedEx, it is what it is. Okay, so I did a video on the classic vinyl reissue series from Blue Note. I'll mention it here again. It is essentially an all-analog Kevin Gray cut series that is going to be focusing on the more Tier A, Tier B titles. The Blue Train, the Lee Morgan Sidewinder, the Kenny Burrell Midnight Blue, the Art Blakey Monin, the creme de la creme Blue Note titles. The first two titles are Lee Morgan's The Sidewinder and McCoy Tyner, The Real McCoy. Those are available on the website right now for pre-order. Those are released December 4th. They're all analog. They're cut by Kevin Gray. If you guys have tried any of the 80th anniversaries, you know how good they are. You know how good these are going to sound. If you haven't tried the 80th anniversaries, I'm guessing you don't listen to jazz. Otherwise, you're really missing out on the boat. But really looking forward to that series. I'm glad they're putting these high-quality titles in print, analog. The 75th anniversary series was not that good. Wasn't reviewed well. Doesn't sound good. I've showed you guys many a times those titles, and it's, with the caveat, don't buy this. So it'd be nice to actually have something that I can show you that sounds good that you can buy, or that I can recommend you buy. Okay, so SACD, Run DMC. I don't think I showed this, but I got another chunk of these in. These are limited to 2,000. Mobile Fidelity is telling me that the vinyl of this should be in maybe in the next month. But I do got a chunk of the SACDs. Okay, two new Tone Poets. Got a small fraction of these orders, this order in. So got some pre-orders going out this week on this tile. Also, I'm going to be shipping, I've got a few, for sale. A majority of the bulk on this is, again, with that FedEx truck. But Duke Pearson, the Phantom, and Bobby Hutcherson, Oblique. Gatefold on the Hutcherson. This is actually a single non-gatefold. A lot of the later titles, they didn't have the session photography, I'm guessing, so they didn't make them gatefolds. But yeah, two fantastic Tone Poets. Herbie Hancock. Bobby Hutcherson's on the Duke Pearson title. Little crossover there. But the Pearson title, I have not I think I must have heard it, but it's been a long while. I couldn't really tell you what this is like. So I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to give this a listen. Very familiar with this. This is a fantastic record. But, you know, you got to kind of like the vibes, which I do, especially when you got towards, you know, the later era, you know, towards this Duke Pearson. What is this? Probably late 60s. Yeah, 1968. I really dig, you know, that late 60s, early 70s era of Blue Note, where it was more of the soul jazz, Afrocentric. You know, we got away from the bop, we got more into the soul jazz. Fantastic, fantastic titles. Haven't heard that one, but I'm looking forward to it. It is going to be the first one that I go home and listen to. Okay, a couple of audiophile restocks came in from the top 10 analog records in print that you should own. I got the 45 RPM and the 33 RPM version of Dave Brubeck's Time Out. This is a title that has been out of print / stock for years. The Oscar Peterson Trio, We Get Requests. I looked on Discogs a couple of weeks ago. This thing was going for almost $200. Analog Productions put it back in print. This is just a fantastic, fun album. It is kind of straight ahead jazz. You know, he's doing, you know, some great at the, you know, standards for the time. You know, The Girl from Ipanema. Have You Met Miss Jones? I mean, this is just a fun jazz album. I mean, it's nothing too serious. It's very accessible. And it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's kind of funny. So I was listening to this a couple of days ago when I first got it. And, you know, I listen to a lot of vinyl in the store, but sometimes when it gets real busy, I'll throw in, we've got a media server, you know, and I'll play files just because I don't have the time. But ironically enough, I was playing the record, and then a couple hours later, it came on in CD format, and it was just, it sounded so horrible. It's just such a, I don't remember, you know, I don't know what the file was. Could be maybe the worst CD ever made. Maybe there's a good version of it, but what I heard was absolutely horrible, and it's just, either that CD is really horrible, or this is really good. Probably a combination of the both. But We Get Requests, the Oscar Peterson Trio. Gin Blossom's picture disc. This is from their concert. They did a lot. You know, I think this was the first time they ever did a concert on vinyl. This is just a picture disc version of that. Gin Blossom's local Tempe band. I told you guys about this last week, but I actually have it to show you. Buena Vista Social Club. I got a couple of these left. This is an all analog cut mastered by Bernie Grunman. Thought this thing was out of print, deleted from all my distributors' catalogs, then it just popped back up. No clue, but I ordered it. The Tom Tom Club. This is on Real Gone Music. This is, I'd love to see the color of this. They call it Tropical Yellow and Red Vinyl Pressing. So, might be pretty cool. Really dig that album. I'm a huge Talking Heads fan. That is half of the Talking Heads. These guys, what is this? Belferger? I have no idea. Necro Demon. Limited to 1,000, pressed on gray vinyl on Nuclear Blast Records. The Depeche Mode. This is a limited edition box set of the 12-inch singles from Songs of Faith and Devotion. I believe there's so what do you got? All the 12-inch singles, and then there's a disc of some live cuts in here as well. Depeche Mode live. But these are all numbered. But yeah, that's a pretty substantial 12-inch. You know, this is a series of box sets they've been doing. I want to say this is probably the biggest box set they've done. So, because most of them were about half the size of this. Novo Amor. Cannot Be Whatsoever. Very creative name, very creative cover. Everclear Picture Disc, the very best of. All right, I do have one of the Rocktober titles I can actually show you. This kind of got slipped in another order. This is Kraftwerk's Tour de France. Actually, I mean, these are really solid looking. I mean, heavy is really heavy duty. You know, has some weight to it, but yeah. There's a look at Tour de Force. I doubt any of these will make it to next week to actually show you guys. But yeah, there's one of them. Another really popular title. This got delayed a couple of weeks, but Emmylou Harris's Wrecking Ball. This is on clear vinyl. This is the single disc version. I do not think, and although this record has been reissued many times, I don't think there is actually a version of this that goes for less than 75 bucks. So really going to be desirable. And probably the most desirable this week of all the Rocktober titles is going to be the Crow soundtrack. This came out Record Store Day, I want to say last year or the year before. It's a $200 record already. This is the most, probably one of the most expensive Record Store Day titles that come out in a couple of years, you know, as far as something that is appreciated in value. So this is a 2LP version with a Crow etching on maybe side 4. So I don't know how that compares to the actual Record Store Day version. I think the Record Store Day maybe was on gray vinyl or something of that nature. It's been a little while now, so I do not remember. But yeah, that is going to be really, really hot. Keep in mind, guys, all the Rocktober titles are Limit 1. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All the stuff can be purchased online at our website at www.theingroove.com. Until next time.